All round, there it is. Happy days. We're just getting straight on with it. Right then guys, welcome to another episode of Hooked. My name's John Murray and I'm an angling addict, and today we're on the River Don in the Northern River Masters. I've actually drawn permanent peg 52 on the earth centre section, so for those of you that are familiar with it, you'll probably recognise the booms which are out over there. I don't know this peg, to be honest. I've only fished down here once before and the river was quite well up and it wasn't fishing very well, so this is the view that I'm faced with today. I'm going to keep things really simple. I'm just going to fish out the 17-foot long rod with a bolognese float, 3 gram, and I've got a feeder rod set up as well. So we'll go looking for some bream early doors and then focus on the silverfish. If you enjoy the videos, give them the old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss an episode every time I upload one. Right, I'm going to get the rest of the gear set up and then we'll get started. Wait for the all in. Stay tuned. Right, this must be the most set up I've ever been. I'm ready probably about an hour and a half in advance of the match, so we'll have a quick detailed look at the rig. Feeder rig wise, really simple, just got a couple of rubber beads there, so they're trapping it off basically on a heli rig. It's the rig I've used pretty much all year. One of the quick change swivels, so you can just push that rubber up there, slot on a different size hook length, dead easy. At the moment I'm just going to start out on a size 16. Below the couple of rubbers you've just got a small twizzle boom, and then we've just got a simple snap swivel to attach the feeder, and that is the basis of a heli rig. Simple as that. Rod is the 12-foot Browning Sphere medium 80 gram version, and the reel I'm using is just a 3000 Shimano Stradic. And that's an absolute disaster. My rod's broke, tip section's gone. Right, so the bolo rig is a Dave Arrell number 4 bolo. It's a 3 gram version, exactly the same setup as I was using on the River Air, but today we've got about 14 foot of depth, so it's perfect for fishing on the 17-foot float rod. At the business end of the rig we've got a 3.5 gram Olivet, a couple of number 8s below that, another number 8 dropper, another number 8 dropper below that, and then we're just down onto basically a 0.09 hook length, and that's a size 18 carbon match hook. Right, we're about 15 minutes out from the all in now. As you've just seen there, the tip carrier section on my rod has got snapped in transit, so that's not a great start, but Dave Brettle's been kind enough to lend me another feeder rod. I only brought the one today because I thought, well, I'm just going to need one feeder rod for this particular venue, and stupidly never brought a backup with me. So massive thanks to Dave for lending me that rod. So there's the initial feed for the bolo line, and now we're just waiting for the shout. So I'm going to feed in on the bolo straight away, go out on the feeder, and that's it, that's time. So let's get this rig in position. Wind's just catching it a little bit, bringing it back upstream. I want to be downstream if at all possible. Right, we'll just give that 10 minutes to settle, get out on the feeder. So obviously I showed you the feeder setup before. I've had to reset up because of the rod snapping, but it's exactly the same setup. Just tied it up quickly onto this rig, and all I'm fishing today is maggot and worm. Got some hemp to feed over the top and maggots, worm for the hook and through the ground bait. We're going to go out, get a single live red on to start with, size 16 hook, a few dead reds and pinkies in the feeder. See if we can get a bite. Off we go. So it's very slow flowing. At times it stands still. That looked like a fairly instant bite on the single maggot there, just as I was tightening into it. So anything we can take out straight away is going to be a bonus. I'm just going to build this feeder line slowly. I've sort of 1 minute chucks to start with. Get a little bit of bait down, not sort of preloading it. Just looking for a bite. Did we have a bite on that maggot? Yeah, something burst it. So straight away, before it even got down, really, there was a bite there. Tip's gone round and we're in. Second chuck. Small fish. Bloody perch. So it was a perch and it's wriggled its way off. Oh, that was a slow pull. Okay, so it took a little while to tempt that bite, but we've caught a small chub. Right, just trying a tiny piece of worm on the hook. Getting bites on it. I think there's a lot of small chublets in here. Don't think we're on bream. Bream pegs tend to be further up the river. That's gone round. Oh, and that feels an half decent fish. That is towing. Small piece of worm. I think I've got hold of him. I don't want him to get in any snags here. You watch, be a bream. I'm a bit concerned because I've got an awful lot of reeds on the inside. Don't feel like a bream the way it's fighting though. Feels like a better chub or maybe a perch. But it feels heavy. Coming inside and it's staying low. An awful lot of weeds down there. It's tugging. Oh, it is a bream. So, try and skim him up. Yeah, give him a gulp. Get the net out. Come on. Come hither. Yes. Oh, that's a beauty. Nice skimmer. Just what I was looking for. I wasn't expecting to catch one, to be honest, but I will take that. Tiniest of bites there. It's another small skimmer. Only fishing a small piece of worm. A very light feeder, 20 gram feeder. Just putting a thumbnail of worm through the feeder now. Another bite developing. I honestly didn't expect I'd still be set on the feeder at this point. I thought I'd be on the bolo by now. But I can't come off this line if there's bream there. Another little twitch. So these may just be skimmers. Some of them I might have to hit. It's definitely a bite, and we're into another one. So the delicate little biters. That's another dab on the tip. These bites aren't coming instantly. I'm going to wait a little while for them. You've got to be f***ing kidding me. Come here, you perch. Right, well, bites on the feeder seem to be tailing off now. We're an hour into the match. Fishing a tiny segment of worm there. I'm just going to have a chuck with single red and maybe double pinky as well. See if we can get another bream out or a skimmer. And then I'm going to get on the bolo because I think the feeder line's about slowing off stroke dying. I've not put a huge amount of bait on it though. Bit of an upstream wind on, which is perfect for the float. Next door's on the pole. You can see that now. But it's very, very slow. It's just tripping through. So the presentation should be perfect on this bolo. It'll look like a bite there. Just sunk down ever so slow. That's a bite. So a bit further down the run, probably just where the ground bait is settled. There's a nice little roach. Get the right height. Small roach. Tree's just making casting a little bit awkward for me to get downstream. I don't want to end up in it. I'll start loose feeding over the top as well. With hemp and maggot, hemp and live maggot. Float's easing through. That was a early indication there. Had a little bit more pace on the river then. Missed that one. Yeah, bite. That's a fish. A fairly decent fish by the feel of it. The rain's coming in. This is a perch. No, it's a bream. Bream on the bolo. Incredible. Got some fight, these skimmers. Not a huge fish, but it's a nice one. I want him in. That's it. Give him a mouthful of air. He's still trying. He's still trying. That's a decent fish. Lovely fish on the bolo there. So this river's throwing up a few surprises for me today. Was not expecting to catch bream early doors on the tip. I certainly wasn't expecting to get one on the bolo there. And of all things, it was a lift bite. Oh, another fish on. It's a roach. Yeah. So I'm just going to try a piece of worm on the float now. Fed quite a bit in the initial feed. If there is bream down there, it might just sniff one out. And that's a bite. Ah, whatever it was came off. Didn't feel a big fish. So I think the forecast rain's on its way in now. Hopefully it'll give up for the time being, but I fully expect we'll be getting the brolly out later. Ooh. So the bites aren't really coming that well on the bolo right now. Maggot seems to be the best bait. Well down the run, that fish. Fortunately I can't cast further down the swim because of the overhanging tree. Oh, that's a nice roach. And that's another one. Ah, it's off. Can't believe it. Right, this rain's starting to set in, so it's brolly time. So I may need to adjust this float just so I can see it. Because the raindrops on the surface are just so heavy. I think I might just need to remove a shot or two. There's no way I can even see the float right now. I'll just take a number 8 off. Well, that was a proper downpour. Lift bite. It's tiny roach. Brolly makes swinging in awkward. There's another fish. Oh, it's another good bite. So I'm starting to get a few coming on now. Maybe that rain's done it some good. Lovely. Right, we're 2 hours in now. Loose feeding over the top and running through just don't seem to be bringing me enough positive bites. I think I'm going to top the swim up. Don't want to leave it too late. I'm going to get a bit more bait down there. Just see if we can keep tempting a few fish though first. Yeah, it's certainly not magic. I'm going to do it. Not going to put any worm in this time. So I've fed the groundbait balls in a bit higher up the swim this time because I can't cast out due to the tree. It's taking too long to get downstream to where I think the fish are coming, so I'm going to try and pull them upstream a bit. Hopefully we can catch a bit higher up. It may just knock it on the head for a bit though. Just having a run through to see if we can catch straight away. It wasn't exactly electric anyway. If I don't get a bite in the next couple of runs, I'll drop back on the feeder. So we'll just give the bolo a rest while that groundbait settles. Have a nosy on the feeder for 3 or 4 chucks at least. Tiny, tiny bite and a tiny, tiny perch. It really is tidgy. And that's a pull round. Great bite that. Ooh, what on earth is this? It just is it another one of these chub or is it a perch? It's got in the weeds. Absolute nightmare down here. Come on, up you come. Yeah, it's a chub. They're not bad little weight builders, them though. Right, there's been no further signs on the tip since that chub, so it's time to look back on the bolo now. It's had about half an hour or so to settle. Hopefully there'll be a few fish queuing up for us. I'm expecting bites fairly high up the swim. If we don't get them, we're in trouble. It's going to be a struggle. Certainly a few fish rolling just beyond my feeder line. I think they're probably chub, taking grubs off the trees. This bolo is looking decidedly dead. 2 runs through here and no bite. So it's not looking too clever on the float either now. We'll try a pinky. Finally. Just beginning to think we weren't going to get a bite on the bolo. It was looking a bit dead. But hopefully a few fish have found that bait now. Yeah. Just took an inch off the depth. It's just tripping bottom a little bit, masking me up bit. Just taking an inch off. I've got another nice roach. Start catching well again over the ground bait. I may start reintroducing the loose feed. We'll just see how we go. It'll look like another little dip. Just for the time being, we'll catch what we can over what we've put in. Oh, there's another bite. So I think maybe we've found the answer now. It looks like that float held up then on the way down. So I think a few fish are in the swim. Get a couple of hours good roach fishing. Might not make a half decent weight. Just getting a few little hold downs. Pretty much just unhittable bites right now. They're definitely wary. Don't think there's a great big shoal down there. Just odd fish. There's another little half dip. Might need to put the number 8 back on. Fish certainly don't seem to have come and sat on top of the ground bait. So what bit of flow there is with the depth has kept them just off to my right hand side where most of these bites are coming. Not really getting anything directly out in front where I threw the bait. Oh yes, decent fish. What is this? Perch? Chub? Skimmer? It's a skimmer. Picked up another bolo on. We've picked up another bream on the bolo. I'm gonna try and get him up. Keep him up. Yes. He's not a bad one. Pound or so. Well, maybe not that big, but he's quite heavy. Another fish. Looks like a roach this time. It's probably taken a good 45 minutes or so for this line to settle, but certainly a few fish coming on it now. Yeah, another one. Getting the bites higher up the swim now. I think the fish have started to move up onto the second barrage of ground bait we've put in. It's looking very black out here. I think we may be in for another downpour. Oh, instant bite there. Definitely sat on top of the ground bait now. Only little these. And another one. Yeah. It certainly do with these roach being a little bit bigger, but I'll pretty much take anything right now. As long as we're catching, we're putting weight in the net. We've always got a chance of one of those big skimmers again. That is another fish. It's coming alive now. Half decent. It's a skimmer, yeah. And another one. And don't feel a bad fish. Another skimmer. Getting lots of bites over that ground bait now. Not all of them hittable. Some I'm sure are small roach. I think there's a decent amount of skimmers down there. Gone. In again. That's gone again. Just do with a couple more big bonus fish. Just another little skimmer. Oh, net's in the way. Another bite there, missed that one. Let's just trot inside, see if anything's a bit closer to. Yeah, another bite. So it's teeming. Come alive now. Another skimmer on the bolo. Really starting to pile some maggots in now over the top, just to keep these fish here. Only got an hour to go. If we could pull a few more decent sized skimmers out, might make a half decent weight. Give ourselves a chance of the section. Don't know what was doing where. I heard there was £10 up on the bream pegs, but that's not in my section. Well, that was a couple of hours ago, so there could be plenty more out by now. Yeah, that's another fish on. These bites have got more and more confident. Let's get hold of this fish. Oh, looks like a nice roach, this. Beautiful. Best roach of the day. even getting a chance to feed now. Slide down. That's a bite though. Another fairly nice fish this. Yep, skimmer. Ah, lost it. It's done a Houdini. Struggling for a bite since I lost that skimmer on the top. That's it, we're in. Try not to lose this one. Oh, another lovely roach. These skimmers are a nightmare when they come to the top and they flap around. So we lost the last one. Well, we've got that one. That bite came well down the run. Just brought it inside a bit, struggling for a bite. Oh, come on, John. Make them count. Right, well the float line looks to have died off now. Got about 7 minutes remaining. So I'm just going to have this one throw. If we don't get a fish, I'm going to give it the last 5 minutes on the tip. See if we can find a bream. Just want one more bonus fish. Get one of those. Fancy I'll have a reasonable weight. Whether it's good enough for the section remains to be seen, but I think it'll be tight down here. Oh, that was a bite there. It was on top of it, but nothing on. Right, quick chuck on the worm then with the tip rod. This is pretty much the last cast, I would imagine. We're in, or should I say we're out. keep hold of this. Well, I was hoping for a quick bite on that, but it ain't come. Just get that out there. See if there's a skimmer waiting for us. Come on. Last opportunity now. And that's time. Right, no time for any more, guys. I'm gonna get packed up, weighed in, and we'll see how we've done. Stay tuned. We're weighing. What you got?
10-4 to beat.
No chance.
No?
Where's that from? 47.
It's a fucking good peg.
Is it?
It's a flyer.
Yeah. Not do that.
This is last peg then, ain't it? This last peg in section.
52.
Stop. Go on, hold it, because the stop. Has it got it? $10-2.
10-2.
10-2. I wanted to make sure it was right, mate, but it's 10-2.
Nice one. What was leading weight? 10-4.
10-4. Yeah.
2 ounce off. Unbelievable. 4 or 5 little ones.
But everybody's lost.
Yeah, nothing big, but you know, it is what it is, isn't it? £10.2 and £10.4's one section. Right, well that's it guys. I've had £10.2, 2 ounces off the section win there, £10.4. How gutted am I? I've lost a few fish. But hey, it is what it is. Everybody loses a few fish from time to time. I think I've only lost 3 or 4, but all I needed was 2 ounces. Can you believe it? Onward and upward to the next one. Hey, listen, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, tight lines.